Hi, everybody, and welcome to Observing with Webb Live for November of 2020. So here's what we got. We have a high school astronomy teacher and an astrophysicist telling you what to look at, why it's so cool, and what you should check out next later this month at night. So November is pretty crazy. We have a big month of change. We had an election. We have daylight savings time ending. We have the nights are getting longer and longer. It's great. And we also have 5 naked eye planets easily visible, at least at different parts of the night. We have the Leonid meteor shower, and we've got the moon getting in line with the planets. So this is a special edition. So first of all, I'd like to introduce Dr. JoEllen McBride.
Hi.
She's a friend of mine from college, and she's super duper smart and has studied this astrophysics stuff a lot more than I have. So, yeah, and we did this sort of thing for Dickinson. We did a little seminar together, and we enjoyed it, and we thought, hey, you know what? That's a truck. And we thought, hey, you know what? Let's do this for my channel. Let's have some fun together. So, Dr. McBride, would you like to say anything?
Sure. I guess, yeah, I'm a doctor. I got my PhD in physics in 2016, but I did my research in astrophysics. So, yeah, I've been studying astronomy a bit for a while. So yeah, I'm just here to have fun and talk about space because I love space.
Yeah. I'm with you on that one. Nice. Dr. Jo and I have
just say Joe.
Yeah. I think we'll go that way. You know, we spent many a night in the building, in the physics building at Dickinson together, just throwing things around and studying every now and then. So anyway, so here's what we wanted to do. We wanted to do something a little bit different than my normal 15-minute what's up in the sky thing, okay? We wanted to do it with actual live observing. And so I have a setup on my back deck to do that, and we're going to see how it works. You know, this is the first time. This is our beta version, I guess you could say. So we will hopefully improve as we go, but that's what we're looking for. So I guess let's get started with some of the naked eye planets. Jo, can you tell us what are the 2 naked eye planets that we can see pretty much just by looking south?
Oh. Would that be Jupiter and Saturn?
That is correct. And here, you should be looking at them. Let me see. Oh, I think one moved behind the chimney.
No!
Let's see if I can move it.
Chimney! Oh, wait, there it is.
Is it? Oh, good.
Yeah, just barely.
Just barely, yep. Yeah, so if you've been looking outside at night and you see these 2 bright objects that are really close together. That brighter one on the bottom is Jupiter. And the brighter one to the left and a little bit up, that is Saturn. Now, they've been looking really, really good. They're much brighter than everything else around them. So, yeah. And then, oh, wow, I have a lot of rust in my roof. I got to do something about that on my chimney there. But, yeah, if you have a telescope, or even binoculars, you can actually see the rings of Saturn pretty easily. And Jupiter, you can see the cloud bands and the moons, the Galilean moons of Jupiter there. So,
yeah, if you have a tripod for the binoculars, even better.
Absolutely. You don't want to be shaking that all around.
Yeah.
All right, so those are the 2 easy ones to find. Now, the other one, all we have to do is just move our line of sight up and over, and there we go. It's actually kind of hiding in that tree there. or behind that tree, not in the tree. That would be a very special talent. But that would be our red planet, which is Mars. And we just passed opposition of Mars. Now, that means that we were very, very close to Mars, comparatively to what we usually are. And it was bigger in a telescope. It was about the size of Saturn or Jupiter. But what you want to do is just look for the really bright red object pretty high in the sky. That tree is my neighbor's tree. It's getting a little big, but maybe he'll cut it down sometime. But and you can't really see it on here, but it's definitely got a red twinge to it. Mm-hmm. And it doesn't twinkle like stars because it's actually a disk as opposed to a fine point of light. And yeah, it's pretty good to see. Yeah. Aren't we sending a rover up there now?
I'm not sure. We have one there. It's still operational.
Yeah, amazingly. Gosh, they do NASA does an amazing job on that stuff.
But I don't remember if we're sending one anytime soon. Uh-oh. Puppy.
Yeah, Sam. Yeah, we're not going to edit this out either.
Nope. Dog stays.
This is live. It's it. Come here. Come here. It's okay. Come here. I don't know. I think he's just barking at leaves falling.
Oh, I locked up my cats, so they won't be they won't be bothering us.
Yeah, they won't be displaying themselves. Fantastic. You would think I would have thought ahead. But yeah, so the thing about the planets that we can see right now, with Saturn and Jupiter, as you see, they went behind the chimney. They're setting earlier and earlier. Right now it's about 7:30, and they're getting close to being out of sight. At least if you have high trees. And okay, pause.
Yeah.
We'll edit this part out. But, okay, where was I? Oh, and Mars actually is going to be up there almost all night and into the morning. So go ahead, check those out. Those are naked eye. They're great to see. And if I'm looking at when the moon is going to be near them, the moon is going to be near, let's see, Jupiter and Saturn on the 18th and 19th of November. So mark that on your calendar. 18th and 19th, the moon will be close to Jupiter and Saturn. It's going to be a thin waxing crescent, which just makes, I don't know, the crescents are just gorgeous to me. I don't know. Mm-hmm. And as far as the Mars, I say that all the time, the Mars. As far as Mars goes, oh, I should stop sharing. There we go. Hey, now you can see me. As far as Mars goes, so it's a certain number of degrees away, and so Mars is going to have the moon near it on the 25th. So yeah, so that's good to see. All right, fantastic. Just wanted to note, and I'm going to share with you my starry night to show you this. Let's go 6 o'clock in the morning. We will be able to see Venus and Mercury off there in the east-southeast. Just Venus is going to be super duper 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 bright in the morning at 6 a.m. I don't know, Joe, are you up in the mornings to actually catch that ever?
When I had my commute, since I'm working from home now because pandemic, but when I would have the commute, I would be probably, I guess but I don't know if I'd see it over the trees is the only thing for my house. So I have a lot of trees.
Yeah, see, we get a lot of farmland out here in Lancaster County. So I do get a chance to see Venus more often. And if I'm over the next couple weeks, you can actually see Mercury, which I don't normally see, and it's not quite that impressive, but it is a planet, but it's closest to the sun. So the thing is, so let's see, this is the sun. So Mercury is sort of orbiting all the time around the sun, but it doesn't orbit all that far away, whereas Venus will orbit much further away. And so from our perspective, it's much higher in the sky, Venus is. than Mercury most of the time. And that's why they're only ever morning or evening stars. But there you go. So Venus and Mercury as well. All right. Now, Jo is an expert in all things astrophysics. All things. There's not a question. So, there is something super duper cool happening. And that is the meteor shower, the Leonid meteor shower happening on the 17th. Jo, take it away. What should we be thinking about there?
Well, so this year, the Leonid meteor shower is actually going to be pretty awesome because it's going to be a new moon. So new moon means it's not illuminated to us here on Earth. So it's going to be pretty dark out. So that's going to make it like a really high chance of you actually seeing some meteors if you go out and look for them. I don't remember what time they peak. You said it was the 17th, right?
Yeah, 17th. It looks like the peak is between 3 and 5:30 in the morning.
Oh, it's so early.
Yeah, it is.
It's totally worth it, especially since it'll be a new moon. It'll be pretty awesome to see. Apologies if you can hear my children.
So we haven't gone
bedtime.
viral yet, so we can't. we haven't gotten our sound studios together.
Yes. Yeah, we're not professionals yet. So my children are trying to go to bed right now. It's okay.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's life, pandemic life. Anyway, so this meteor shower is actually due to a comet. So there's a comet called Tempel-Tuttle that orbits the sun about every 33 years. And so here's the sun, here's my comet, it's going around. So as comets get closer and closer to the sun, they start ejecting and burning off material as the sun heats them up. And so they leave kind of a little trail, like through space as they go around the sun, especially when they're close to the sun. And lucky for us, we on Earth are close to the sun. So sometimes Earth orbits intersects these paths that the comets make. And when that happens, that's when we get a meteor shower a lot of the times. So this comet, Tempel-Tuttle, has left a trail, and we're going to pass through it. And that's what's going to make this meteor shower happen. But what's super cool about this comet is that every once in a while, if you're lucky, you'll get a super meteor shower, which also happens about every 33 years, but it's like delayed from when we would see the comet. So the last time the comet was here was in 1998. So the next time it's going to be here is in 2031. That'll be the next time the comet comes close. So there was a super meteor shower, which had like hundreds to thousands of meteors an hour. So that's a lot. It's a ton. Usually, I think usually this one only has like 10s or 20 an hour or something like that.
Yeah, I have 10 to 15.
10 to 15 an hour, yeah. So that's pretty, like you're gonna have to sit there for a while and wait if you want to see a meteor. But every once in a while, we just pass through a very dense congregation of stuff left over from the comet, and these usually happen pretty soon after the comet passes close enough that we can see it here on Earth, when it comes by. So the last time there was a super meteor shower was in like 2002, so like 4 years after we saw it. So maybe in 2035, there's going to be another super meteor shower. I'm sorry you have to wait like 15 years for that, but
yeah, right.
Just put it in your calendar for 15 years from now and
yeah,
be ready, and it'll be great. Maybe we'll still be doing this.
Yeah, and don't bank on it either, because astronomy is one of those things you can't rely. Especially comets. They say comets are like cats, right?
Yes.
They just do whatever they want.
They do whatever they want. So, I mean, even like the super meteor shower could be, I don't know, it could happen like 6 years later or whatever.
Right.
You never know what's going to happen. And also, because it depends also on like how the comet breaks apart and all that stuff as it gets close to the sun. So there's a lot of stuff we don't know what's going to
It can
happen.
be very random. Like I remember comet 17P Holmes, I think it was. I think it was like 2008 or something like that, where, sorry, dog entertainment. So where it just sort of exploded randomly. Like it was coming in and it wasn't visible or anything. And then just all of a sudden, and you could just see this little smudge in the sky, and it was about as far away as Jupiter. And just randomly. Yeah. So it was a comet that instead of having that tail, it was just like an expanding gas cloud.
It was a poof.
Yeah, exactly. It was a poof. And it was right during the
comet. A poofy comet.
But yeah, and so what I like to tell people is if you're going to observe a meteor shower, plan on staying outside at least 15 minutes, at least. If you definitely want to get something, dedicate half an hour to an hour to at least see something, because the chance, it's like the lottery, I guess, right? You know, you can't just play it once and expect to win. You can't just go out for 30 seconds and go, oh, didn't see one, I'm back in. So you kind of want to give 15 minutes at least. Make sure that you bundle up. It's gonna get a lot colder than it feels, and bring some hot chocolate, do some push-ups or sit-ups or squats to keep your body going, and don't look at your phone because your phone's gonna blind you.
Yeah.
Not literally, but at least for the dim meteors, it'll blind you to those. So
yeah, you definitely need to let your eyes adjust to the darkness, and that can take a good 3 minutes, of just sitting in the total darkness.
Yeah.
You know, and not looking at your phone. They do make apps that will I guess redden your screen. So if you have anything that's red light, so if you get those, what do they call them? Yeah, like that, but it switches to red.
Yeah, I love this headlamp. This thing
those
is great.
are great because red light doesn't trigger your eyes as much, and it makes it easier for your eyes to switch back and forth from red light to darkness.
Right.
You can also get what do they call them, the gels that you put on lights, if you're in a play, you can buy some of those and put it over top of a flashlight, and that works too. But also on your phone, you can download an app that will redden your screen, so that way you can use your phone if you're using one of those sky maps or something on your phone and you want to look up and see what something is.
Yeah.
I use one called night vision is what it's called. It just turns my screen red so that it doesn't affect my eyes as much.
Yeah. Yeah, I find the apps are, at least the apps that I've tried, have been okay. I think the classic old guy in the planetarium trick was to buy some sun-made raisin bread, because it would come in that red plastic. And then you could just put that red plastic bread bag over top of your flashlight, and it would work. It's one of those things that when you go to a planetarium, that guy always tells you, all you need to do is buy some raisin bread. It's easy. But
I knew people who used red saran wrap because they would make the saran wrap red. You can just use that too. You could probably put that over your phone. Also,
the holidays are coming up. There's going to be red saran wrap.
There is. Perfect. Get you some red saran wrap.
There we go. We've solved the world's problems for meteor showers. All right.
Done.
Nice. Okay. Let's see. I think that's it for the meteor showers, right?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, definitely check it out.
Yeah. I know.
Be patient.
Oh yeah, be patient. I like to try to get astrophotos of meteors. I haven't really been impressively successful yet. I've gotten a couple, but it's kind of just whoop-de-doo. But, I really want to get something good, but I haven't quite found the best way to do that. And things do up over the nighttime. It can be kind of frustrating. But anyway, excuse me. So, yeah, okay. Let's see. Looking at the moon, of course, right now, what are we? November 8th. So we're at the last quarter. So I can't show you the moon on my camera right now because, well, it's not up. But it'll be up around midnight and into the morning. I don't know if you've noticed that in the mornings. We've been taking my students to the planetarium more often, and we can actually see it as we're walking up. You know, some students just they don't even realize, because it just hasn't been a thing they've thought about, that, oh wow, I didn't know you could see the moon during the day, because we just think of it as a nighttime object.
We do.
Right? Like if you don't know anything about astronomy, you just haven't looked up during the daytime for the moon, if it's just not on your radar, then yeah, I totally get that. Like, oh yeah, the moon's a night thing, right? Sun's the day, moon's the night, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, you can see it during the day. In fact, I even had I had one of my students one year be like, "You're lying to me, Mr. Webb." And I was like, I looked at the date and I said, "All right, let's go outside right now."
Let's go. I got you.
And we saw it.
I almost got in a fight with a boyfriend about it.
No.
He was like, "No, the moon is never up during the day." And I was like, "Yeah, it is. In fact, it is every month, probably." And he's like, "No way." And then like I just waited for a warning, and I was like, "Do you see that?"
Yeah.
Right there. You've met, this boyfriend too.
Oh, okay. We'll talk about that later.
But yeah, we almost got in a fight.
Oh my goodness.
I was like, dude, no, it's up in the day. It happens.
Oh, you just can't trust those experts,
You can't.
Yeah, so let's see. New moon is the 15th, so then we'll have the crescents the week of the 15th to the 22nd. That's probably going to be my favorite week for the moon. Full moon is again on the 30th. Yeah, let's see. You know what? Hey, let's move on to some constellations. Yeah, that's the good stuff. So let me just get this set up if you want to vamp for a minute.
Well, this is my favorite part because I've always been really bad at constellations for an astronomer, actually. So I always learn something new about them.
Awesome.
Is that the name of your camera, EOS 5D Mark?
Yes.
4?
5D Mark IV, yeah.
People were asking me what your camera is.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nice.
Because they couldn't believe that like you could show them the sky with the camera on Zoom.
Well, I'll tell you what, I would agree back in the day, but like, what are you barking at now?
Ow.
But yeah, now it's also a very expensive camera that we have for the planetarium, to be able to take really good pictures and put them in the planetarium.
Okay.
And it's a full frame camera, so it's got a wider bigger sensor. And yeah, and I got a very nice lens for it too. Because in order to be able to see the constellations, all right, I'm going to be doing this. Oh boy, there we go. In order to be able to see the constellations, you have to have a prime lens, which is fixed, meaning it doesn't have any, doesn't zoom or anything.
Okay.
It's kind of disappointing, but at least I get the constellations. Now let's see what I can do live here. Okay, so if you remember, back behind the chimney is Saturn and Jupiter, but they're behind the chimney. And then over to the left of that is Mars up there. And so I think what I want to do first is actually turn, if that's south, I'm going to turn completely around and look north. Because one of my favorite ones to look at up here right now I'm looking almost perfectly straight up, but I am tilted toward the north. Joe, do you remember which constellation that is?
That's Cassiopeia.
Boom, you got it. And we've actually been talking about that in class. You can see the 5 bright stars that make it up. The top one is more of a right triangle or right angle. And the bottom one is more obtuse, okay? Kind of like people who don't listen to experts. What you're seeing here is 1, 2, 3. These make the right angle. And then you see the obtuse angle down this way. And so that's Cassiopeia. And then that's pretty bright. That's easy to see. It's also up high in the sky. And then if let's see. There it is. That is Cepheus. Sam is attacking something on the deck, and I don't know what it is. Oh, yeah, there it is. Yeah, I'm a smart one. I was thinking it was the opposite direction. But yeah, so it is this square. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then this one down here makes a triangle with these guys. And that's Cepheus. Honestly, I think it looks more like a tent. That's what I normally think of. And so if you can get them all in one shot here, okay, you can actually see Cassiopeia here and Cepheus over here. But Cepheus is dimmer. He's the king. He's a little dimmer. And still made of 5 stars. Now, below them, okay, is the Little Dipper and Polaris. Let's see if I can get that lined up here. There it is, okay? And what you're looking at here is you've got Polaris right there. And then you see these other 2 stars. I think their name, I forget what their names are, Kochab or something. And, but the thing is that the 4 in the middle are usually pretty hard to see, and you can tell they're dimmer here on this. And so they're a good measure of light pollution. Now, can you see? Yeah, you can see that on the screen. Good.
Yeah, you can.
Okay. And yeah, so Polaris is, of course, the North Star. That's the star around which everything rotates, which if I was in the planetarium right now, I'd be able to show you something really cool about that. And of course, I wish I could really back away from this to show you the whole sky, but not right now. Okay. Okay, so that's the north. So remember, the Little Dipper is about halfway up the sky, directly north. So if you have a compass or something, you can figure out where north is. Just look about halfway up, and you'll see it just like that. Up and to the right is Cassiopeia. And then to the left of that is Cepheus. Yeah, whoop, there it is. All right, fantastic. Okay. Any requests for constellations?
What is up right now? Is Orion up?
Orion is starting to come.
Is he blocked?
He is blocked by my neighbors.
No.
And the horizon too, actually.
Okay.
It's actually a little bit, oh wow. Now it's probably not going to show up on the screen, but I'm gonna put it on Mars, and Mars is just looking super bright and super red.
Very bright.
Yeah. I guess you can kind of see a little red on the camera there. But yeah, see, that's the thing. That's the funny thing about our eyes. Our eyes are far better than a camera in many ways. Or at least our brains are better at processing.
I am immediately going to go look out my window at Mars, like when we're done with this.
Oh, perfect.
Because I'm excited about how bright it looks right now.
Oh, you know what? Actually, right about now, it's, what do we say? It's 7:50 right now. If you look almost perfectly straight up, and it's above Mars, what you'll be looking at, see if I can get them all in. Am I getting them in there? There it is. You'll see a big old square, just almost a perfect square up in the sky, and that is Pegasus right there. Okay, and so you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, the great square of Pegasus, just looking absolutely amazing. And actually, hold on one second. I'm going to turn the lights off in my house. I'll be back in 10 seconds.
Okay, I'm going to time you.
Oh, this is much easier to see now. Okay, good. Yeah, so another tip for the meteor shower, make sure you don't have lights all over the place.
Yeah, go to a dark spot. Did we not say that? We did not say that.
No, we did not say that. But
we should have said that.
Yeah, go to a dark place.
Rookie mistake.
A physically dark place. Okay. Now, so this one right here, if you sort of go off to the left, let me shift this a bit. Okay. This is also one of my favorite constellations. I'm starting to think they're more like children, you know. You say you have your favorites, but they're all your favorites, right? So if you see here, there's a 1 star of Pegasus, and you see that you kind of get 2 over here. Then about the same distance away, you get another pair. They're a little bit further apart. And then about 50% further away this time, you get another pair that are about 50% or twice as far away. And this right here is Andromeda. And the coolest part about Andromeda, Joe, do you know what the coolest part of Andromeda is?
There's a galaxy in there.
Oh yeah, there is an Andromeda. There is a galaxy. Can you guess what its name is?
Oh, Andromeda.
Bingo, it is the Andromeda Galaxy. Let's see if I can get this.
Have you ever seen it with your naked eye, Andromeda?
Yes.
Me too. It was so cool.
Isn't it amazing?
It's so cool.
Yeah.
It's a galaxy with
Yeah.
my eyeballs.
I know. It's so wild. And I think we actually are seeing it on here.
Really? Where?
Like right about here.
Oh, you think that, like, oh, maybe.
I think that is.
I don't want to, like, my eyes will see things that I wish I was seeing.
Do you see my mouse on there?
Yeah.
Right there, that's Andromeda Galaxy. And the reason I know that is because it's the second pair out, and it's about the same distance away. See this distance here?
Mm-hmm.
About the same distance away up there. So that little fuzzball right there, that is the Andromeda Galaxy.
Oh man, and you know what? I had to clean off my computer screen to see it, but it's totally there.
Yeah.
And wow. I'm like cleaning my screen to make sure it's not on my screen. But yeah, that's really there. That's so cool.
Nice. Yeah. So hopefully, actually, I want to do this again and actually have my good telescope out so that I can just put a camera right on the telescope and then look at this stuff.
That would be cool.
Right?
And we're going to crash into Andromeda in
some billions of years?
I think it's 4 billion years.
4 billion years?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I've got something going on.
We're going to be busy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
go ahead.
Crash into it. It's going to be really, anticlimactic.
Oh, that's true. Well, hopefully it'll be anticlimactic, right?
Well, it usually is when galaxies run into each other. It's not like explosions or anything.
Yeah. Or isn't it like rare, like they can happen, but they don't really?
What, like explosions?
Like if
stars hitting each other, you mean?
Yes, stars hitting each other.
It is super duper rare because there's way too much space in between stars.
Okay, yeah. All right, so now here's what I'm going to do. So if Mars is over here, I'm going to turn about 180 degrees around, probably tangle myself up in some cords.
Oh boy.
And, well, that's the price you pay. There we go. And so the brightest star in the western direction right now is that one. Why are you still moving? Sorry about that. My mount thing is not quite staying stable. But yeah, so if you look right here, so that's the brightest star in the summer sky. That is Vega. And then you see the parallelogram shape right here. Okay. This is Lyra the Harp. And so this was meant to be a harp type shape, not the big fancy harp that you think of, more of the lyre, whatever that old Greek thing is. But that's what that was. And then if you look up a bit from there, you can see Cygnus the Swan, which there's the tail. Here are the wings. Okay. And then here's the head. Let me dip down just a little bit. There's the actual head of it right there. And actually, if you look at this one's really cool. It's called Albireo. Jo, do you remember what's cool about Albireo?
Isn't that one a double star?
It is.
And aren't they two different colors?
Exactly. Nicely done.
Yes, I remember.
Nicely done. See? What? Yeah, so the one is orange and the other one is blue, which normally if you just look at the sky, you can't really tell that all the stars have colors unless you're really paying attention. So it's just really neat to be able to see that with two stars right next to each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, so let me just take one more look around just with my eyes and see if there's anything particular that I missed. I don't think so. I think the only other one is, if you remember, let's see, this will be the last one. All right, if you remember where we had, where is it? There you go, Cassiopeia. If you go down and to the right a little bit, there's this really neat constellation called Perseus. And that's where the Perseid meteor shower comes from. And then the reason, I don't know, there's just something neat about this one because it's got this neat shape that's kind of like a cornucopia shape or kind of like a horn or an antenna. I constantly see it being referred to as the parasol. I don't really know what a parasol is, but
it's like an umbrella.
Okay, yeah, it's the sun umbrella, right?
Yeah, it's like a fancy, pretty umbrella.
Okay, yeah, I don't really deal with fancy, pretty umbrellas myself. Although I did just buy one of those Galaxy ones from the ASP.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I bought one for Scorpio too. So we now have matching umbrellas that have the Milky Way Galaxy on the top.
That is so cool. I need to get one of those.
But yeah, so that's another cool one, and yeah, I think
are the Pleiades visible right now?
Now they are in the tree right now, but
yeah,
I'll be able to catch a little glimpse of them. So they're down and to the right of Perseus, and oh yeah, they're right there. Boom, right there.
Yeah, you can see them peeking out. Okay.
Yeah, so Orion is actually, I think that's Betelgeuse. Oh, you can't see. Oh, wait, actually, yeah, you can see the Pleiades right about there.
Yeah, they're like that. I thought that kind of looked like them peeking out.
Yeah. And Betelgeuse is like right around there. Okay. Yeah, so they're coming. They're going to be up there in the winter.
That's exciting. I feel like Betelgeuse is a star that looks red if you look at it closely.
Yes.
I feel like that one's really obvious.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
But I also agree that most stars don't look like they have colors when you look at them with your naked eye. And people are like, what?
Yeah, you kind of really have to be paying attention.
Yeah.
So
like it's hard to see.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But okay. Let me turn that brightness down on my laptop now. Whoops, all the way. You're gone. All right, I'm back. So, oh yeah, you can't see me right now because I turned my lights.
Nope. It's dark.
That's.
Oh, scary story time.
Yeah, right. This. I'm going to turn that other light on. But yeah, so yeah. Any other thoughts?
I don't think so. I think that just about covers it.
Yeah.
The sky.
Yeah.
This was fun.
Yes, it was. It's fun to actually interact with people, like human beings.
And not talk to yourself.
Yeah, I know, right? But yeah. So, oh wait, you know what? Betelgeuse. What do you know about Betelgeuse from an astrophysics perspective?
Oh, what do I know about it?
Yeah.
I know that recently it dimmed a lot and people freaked out.
Yeah.
I think right now the prevailing theory is that it ejected a bunch of material from itself.
Mm-hmm.
So Betelgeuse is like this huge red supergiant star that's about to die. And by about to die, I mean sometime in the next like 100,000 to like 1,000,000 years or something like that. It's gonna die. Or maybe like even, I think even some estimates even say like as little as 10,000 years it could be, because they're, it's really hard to estimate the ages of stars since they live so much longer than us. But yeah, so since it's this huge supergiant star, eventually someday it's gonna explode. But right now it's just like bleeding material off of itself because it's so big and swollen and all that stuff. It's having a hard time holding itself together. And so I think what they think happened right now is that just like a big mass of material came off of it and sort of like obscured the star for a while. And so that's why people freaked out. But when stars go supernova, at some point before they explode, they will dim a lot. So that's why people got so excited. Like they were like, "Oh, maybe it's gonna explode. What is happening?" And it didn't happen. But what's also confusing is Betelgeuse is a variable star, and what that means is its light changes. So like it'll increase in brightness and decrease in brightness periodically. And it has multiple periods. So it has like some longer periods and some shorter periods. Mm-hmm. So some people were thinking like, oh, some of these periods might have just lined up. So it was extra dim. But
like
then
a rogue wave.
Yeah, basically. But then when they look at the data, they were like, actually, it's not. Like, I think 2 of the periods lined up, but it still shouldn't have been as dim as it was. So I think they actually got images of Betelgeuse and showed that there was this extra material that came off of it. And so they were saying, oh, that extra material probably came out all around the star and is now like, and was blocking it and dimmed it. But now Betelgeuse is back to normal. It's its normal brightness. So like, it's not dim anymore. But like when I went outside at night, I could tell that it was dimmer than what I was expecting. And I remember being like, that looks weird. Like, is there a cloud or something? And like, I read, oh, Betelgeuse dimmed all of a sudden. It was pretty cool. It was exciting.
Yeah, it's surprising those things that like to you and me, people with the trained eye, that we will actually notice.
Yeah.
Like I know, actually, I saw another geostationary satellite, I think.
You did?
Yeah, because I was looking out and I was like, ooh, that's not usually there. Oh, wait, it's gone. So I was like, oh, that must have been another one of those geostationary satellites. But
you didn't text me this time, be like, what is this?
No, I didn't. The romance of new discovery was gone.
No. Well, I got super excited when you saw it too. I was like, oh, was it?
Well, I do know to temper myself, because every time I'm like, I think I'm going to see something. I'm going to observe a supernova tonight.
Yeah.
But not going to happen. And Betelgeuse is like our best bet for something to go
it is
supernova and be cool. And it's like, well, we're betting on the next 10,000 years. So.
Yeah, or something, or 100,000 years. Like, yeah, I know it's really disappointing.
Yeah. Actually, here, you know what? I'm gonna try one more thing. See if you can vamp a little bit, because I have my fisheye lens. So I'm wondering if that
Fisheye lens.
cool. So
You gonna make a rap video with a couple of friends? That was really silly of me. I guess Ada Carina would also be one that could go supernova soon.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yeah.
That's another big one. I think that one's in the southern hemisphere, though, isn't it?
Yes. I don't think we ever
We can't see that one.
can see that one. I think if we were to be able to see that one, it would be like very, very low on the horizon. So I don't think that one is going to happen for us.
That is one of the coolest things, though, that I ever saw in my life, was when I went down to Chile to go to the SOAR telescope, and I looked outside, and I mean, it was a full moon when I went there, because I was there doing instrumentation stuff. So we went when the moon was bright and nobody wanted to observe anything and use the telescope. But I went there, and like, you can see the large and small Magellanic clouds with your naked eye.
Oh.
And it's like, it's pretty crazy, because like the large and small Magellanic Clouds are two tiny galaxies that orbit the Milky Way galaxy. Like they probably used to be bigger galaxies that got too close to the Milky Way, and we're slowly like pulling them apart as they orbit us. But if you look up at the sky where they are, they just look like these two fuzzy clouds. And you're like, that looks weird. What is that? But they're not clouds, because they don't move. Like, they're just sitting there in the sky with all the other stars. And you're like, oh my gosh, this is a large and small Magellanic Cloud. Those are galaxies. Like, I'm looking at galaxies.
Oh, that is so cool.
It was really cool. It was so cool. It was like my favorite thing to look at when I went down there.
Oh man, I am jealous of people who have seen stuff like that, because you just don't get to see that sort of thing up here in the Northeast.
Or in the Northern Hemisphere. You cannot see them in the Northern Hemisphere. That's
true, yeah.
It's really sad. Like Andromeda, you could see up here, which is cool. But you have to be in a really dark place. Like the first time I saw it, I was in Green Bank, West Virginia.
Yeah.
At the radio telescope facility. And like, we went outside, and it was actually really hard to find Andromeda, the constellation, because there were so many other stars, because it's so dark. But then I could look slightly away from where Andromeda was supposed to be, and I could see it. It looked like a little cigar, like this little elongated thing, and it was so cool. I was like, I see it. Now I'll never see it again, because who knows when I'll ever go back to Green Bank.
Well, it's not that far away.
I guess not. Yeah, it's pretty close.
All right, you know what? I was going to go with the fisheye, but it turns out that I guess when you go to a much wider lens, you have less light per pixel, I guess. At least that's what I'm saying to myself right now. So because of that, you can't really see the stars on the screen. So yeah, that's a little disappointing. Let me just try one more. Take a look.
Now I got that Strong Bad song in my head.
Which one?
The Fisheye Lens song.
Oh, I don't think.
You look it up. Him and Coach Z do a rap video.
Fantastic.
And it's about Fisheye Lens, and it's.
I think they did a new Halloween one this year.
They have a new one. Oh, I gotta show the kids, because my kids like Strong Bad.
I have never shown that to Soccorso.
No, you have to. My kids love the songs. They love it. They love Trogdor.
I feel like he would get into Trogdor. I feel like
Karina draws Trogdor. Like, she likes to draw him. It's amazing.
Oh my gosh. Did you see we have friends that had family Trogdor costumes?
What? No, I did not see that.
I'll tell you after we stop recording.
Yes, please.
I'm pretty sure, at least my memory's telling me that, but
no.
All right. Well, let's wrap this up.
Yes.
So anyway, I'm Mr. Webb, the astronomy teacher, and that's
I'm Dr. Jo. I usually tell people to call me Dr. Jo or Dr. McBride or Joe, whatever.
yeah. And yeah, so again, this is the first time we're doing it. We kind of want to do some live observing, and actually do some of this. We might want to live stream in the future, but we kind of need to figure that out. So if you have any ideas or help, um, that would be great. So, but yeah, this is something we really enjoy doing. It's fun. It's
It is
enjoyable.
fun. Nerding out is fun.
Yes, it is. So yeah, well, with that, everybody, I wish you clear, dark skies for the rest of the month.
Good night, y'all.